Fam Mortgage Advisors, welcome to Funding Billions with Finolio. We're on our sixth interview this year, and my guest today is Jake Wade. He's got a great story about coming to the bottom and rising up and making it to the top. Before we jump into this interview with Jake, let's start with this. Jake's a producing branch manager. In 2018, he's recently back in the mortgage industry, and I'll let him get into it. He funded 40 units for $16 million. 2019, he closed 80 loans for $41 million. 2020, he ended up with 145 loans for over $77 million. So he basically doubled each year. Most LO's goal is to double, and 3 years in a row is pretty incredible. So Jake, let's start off. I know you got a great story, so let's just start off with background. Let's go with give us what happened and how you got here.
So I was basically a broke bartender in college, going to San Francisco State. Rich guy used to come in every Thursday. He'd sit down with an hour. He would have his drink, Manhattan or whatever, and then we would talk. And then his guests would come. They'd sit down. They'd buy a $300 bottle of wine, and I'd look at it, and I'd be like, okay. So after about a year, I said, yo, man, what do you do? And he said, this is what I do, and I've been talking to you across this bar for a year. I see how you act with people. I can tell you're sharp. Here's my card. I walked into his office Monday morning. We ended up talking for 4 hours. I was 22 years old. I sent a picture of my first commission check, which I closed 31 days later. And at that time, you know, it was 3 points in the front and 2 in the back. And told my dad that, I found out what I'm going to do. Fast forward. I ended up becoming the branch manager of that branch, recruited a bunch of my buddies. We ran a war room. We did, all sorts of record volume.
So is it kind of, let me give a visual. So it's kind of like Boiler Room, right? The movie Boiler Room. All right. Got it.
These were college buddies from San Luis Obispo, UCSB, Chico. And then we had this huge conference room, and we all just sit around in there and
That's
all
awesome.
have be on their phones just hammering. Yeah. So it was cool. Very much boiler room, not as much illegal activity. So basically I worked, and then I changed, when things started to shift in 2007, I worked for Primary Residential, mortgage banking platform, global correspondent lender. And at the time, all my assets, everything was in real estate, right? I had 3 condos in San Francisco. I drove a SL55 Mercedes. I was doing well. Right?
Don't take this the wrong way, but you were the typical mortgage broker back then, right?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Oh. Let's go to Vegas for the weekend. We don't need clothes, we'll buy them there. Yeah. So anyways, so 2013 things caught up with 2012, 13 things caught up with me, and I ended up homeless. Homeless on the streets.
Yeah. That's tough.
And I mean going to the food lines in the Tenderloin to get food, like the real deal.
Man, that's rough.
I would not change anything for the world, because when I came back into it, I had this fire in my belly that was like, holy crap, right? So I left San Francisco / Richmond and to get healthy. Moved back up here, was a personal trainer. In 2016, my tax return said $35,000. There's not a lot of money in personal training business. I was working at 3 gyms at the time.
Wow.
So I have a high work ethic, but just don't make a lot of money. So my start in the mortgage business with FAM was January 5th, 2017.
Wow. So when 2018, you closed 40 loans. That was technically your second year back in the industry. Right?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. And so I got all these questions.
First year. Yeah. Go ahead.
Go for it. I got all these questions.
I think it was 2017. I did like 14 or 15 million. 2018 is when I did I can't remember. Whatever.
I got it. I got it right here. I got it. Don't worry. I got research. I got all the paper. Yeah. So you did 16 million. Then you doubled it. You did a little more than double, 41, and then you did 70. So wow, this is a crazy story. So how'd you, from going to homeless to getting back in the mortgage industry, talk to me. Were you doing any coaching, mindset, reading book? What the heck took you from there to where you're at today? This is self-discipline. This is like, man, I'm down on my luck. I got to pull myself out. I got to get out of this, because a lot of people don't come back, right? They end up being homeless.
Oh yeah. I'll be honest, there was drugs and alcohol involved in that because I was miserable. And the amount of people that come out of it successfully and stay sober and all that, it's about 13%.
Yeah.
The rest of the people either end up dead or in jail.
Right.
Pretty much what it looks like. So, where were we? I'm sorry.
Let's go back to, all right, you're back. You're here at FAM. Let's go. You pulled yourself out of it. You've done a lot of help. You were a personal trainer, and now you're back. 2017, you did great. 2018, now here we are. Now the volume, you're back. You realize that you're like, this is the career I want to be in. I'm healthy. I'm clean. I'm staying away from everything. Let's talk about one, mindset, right? What's the mindset every single day? What are your daily disciplines? What are you doing to get you to where you're being super successful right now? Because this is great for FAM loan officers who didn't have to be homeless, right? These are people that are just being lazy, right? Like, look at you were homeless. Now you're no longer, right? You're super successful. So what are those daily disciplines that made this happen for you?
Yeah, so let me start. My old branch manager is a huge Duncanite, right? Okay. And so he said, go read High Trust Selling. And I'm like, okay. So I did that. Then I went to a couple of Todd's events.
Okay.
And Todd's great. I think the world of Todd. We're good friends. But really, I met Cody Hardridge. I met, Ryan Grant. I met all these people, I met all these people. And all I kept hearing was discipline, 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 discipline. So the first basic thing I did is 5 by 5 by 5. What that is every Tuesday, Thursday, and now it's Wednesday. So it used to be every Tuesday, Thursday, 5 handwritten cards, right? 5 handwritten thank you cards, or just saying, not even thank you. They're just checking in, saying hi, thinking of you. How's the playground you guys talk about building? Then I do 5 personalized text messages. Hey, just checking in. Just want to say hi. It's been a while. Same thing. And then I do slide dial, because I don't have a lot of time to be on the phone, even though as much as I love talking to my borrowers. But I leave them a message just to let them know, like, hey, I'm thinking about them. So from that, traction started to happen. And then I just became fearless about because I had 0 realtors either. I had no realtors.
No, you're coming from the 2016, 17. You got nothing.
So I went to, it's called up here, hold on one second. Earpods. Can you hear me now?
Yep, I can.
Yep. So I went to the thing, it's called the Book of Business, and it's basically something like that. And it's basically where business owners, realtors, all a bunch of people get a huge conference, right? And I was just fearless. Everyone I saw that had a name tag that said realtor on it, I just walked right up and I said, hi, my name's Jake. I'm getting back in the business. I'm looking to meet cool people who are looking to add value to other people's lives. And that's it. And they were like, what do you mean value to other people's lives? And I was like, let's sit down and talk about it. Here's my number. And walk away. Just boom, quick drop. And picked up a couple good realtors. Then I labeled myself. Well, I didn't label myself. My first realtor I started working with, she was so impressed because she works out in Guerneville, and hard deals, right? So she started calling me Mr. Make It Happen. I know it sounds cheesy and all that, but it caught on and it worked, right? So then I just started figuring out, okay, I need to solve problems and I need to add value to my realtors. So how do I do that? And then I just started going more and more into that. Like right now, the market we're in, right? I'm telling all these people, your borrowers need to come to me a month in advance. Well, Jake, why do we need to do that? Because they have to go no loan contingency, which means I need to do my job. I need to research the property and make sure that when we do get to that point, we can probably go no appraisal. You know what I mean? And so I'm really just trying to like get tactful with them and make them understand this is a new game. And if you guys want to play the new game, I'm your guy. If you don't, I'm not your guy, period.
Yeah. Smart is smart. Like right now, even with the easy W-2 20% down deals, I'm doing TBD underwriting because I don't want to send my little pre-approval letter, right? That means nothing. They throw that away. I go, this borrower has already been underwritten. Here, underwritten. And they're like, oh, okay. And so I'm like, now we have appraisal if there's a contingency, or we have, property inspection, and we got to go fast. Like the other day, I beat out 23 offers. I was number one out of 23 offers, and it appraised, and everyone's blown away. And it was strategically how we structured the deal, right? No loan, no appraisal. The borrowers had a ton of money. So if they missed, they knew it. And we came in and everyone's like, what the heck? And I'm like, this is how you have to do it. But I got those borrowers in January and I go, you're walking into the most competitive market I've ever seen in my life. I've been at this almost 20 years and you got to do what I tell you. They wrote on 2 other offers, got smoked. And then I go, all right, now you're ready to do it my way? And they're like, okay, cool. And I'm like, this is what we got to do. And I'm getting all my offers accepted because of strategically upfront. And the realtors that are working with us are like, this is great. I didn't know you could do this. And I'm like, yes, you can. You have to.
And I think that's the key because like I work with the #1 Keller Williams agent up here, and she's been doing it for a long time. And she gets stuck in her old ways a lot. And I always have, and we're good friends now, right? So I always have to remind her, like, hey, I am here to make you more money. I am here to make you more money. Please just listen to me. And she started listening. I started teaching her about bridge loans. I started teaching her about how to pull equity from another property and all this stuff. And she's like, we've tripled referrals in the last 3 months just because I had to kind of draw that hard line and like make her realize, like, hey, this isn't last year. This isn't the year before. This isn't 20 years ago. If you listen to me on this, I will make you more money and add value because that was my promise to you from the get-go.
That's awesome. Good for you. All right, let's get into a little bit of what's your goal this year, right? Double, double, double. Are you trying to shoot 280 loans? What's your goal?
I'd like to do around 200 loans, but I also have 2 little girls.
Okay, so that's tough. Time management.
Yeah. So, but I've been very smart I made a loan operations manager. And she is an ex-underwriter who used to be my LOA. She knows me like frickin' frack, right? Like she knows good, bad, everything, knows how I operate, knows what I like to see. So I put her there. Then I brought under 2 LOA, an admin, right? So the intake paperwork can be clean when it gets to my LOAs, right? Really clean and dialed in. And then I added my own processors with these processors have to understand you might be a processor one day, but you might also be an LOA one day. And you might also be a client calling one day. And my mantra, not to be vulgar, I'll scrub toilets, but you got to be willing to scrub toilets too. You know what I mean?
Sense.
Like we all have to do it.
We all have to walk in each other's shoes, right?
Yep.
Right. And I'm at the point where I got my main 3, assistant and processor. They're basically loan partners. I don't like labeling them as anything but that because they're part of
I call them loan partners too.
Yeah, I call them my loan partner. They really are. They're a reflection of me. Is I'm having them take their tests, get fully licensed, even though they probably are never going to originate a loan. But I need them to be in a situation where if I need them, they need a cover for me, right? They got to jump on and go, hey, look, because I do the interest, like I break down the LE, explain the rates, explain that. I need them to be able to help me a little bit on that because that's the one part that I will say about my business. I delegate everything else, but I go over all that. At one point, I need to get them there because a lot of it is repeat customers. A lot of it's a lot of past clients. They could totally handle it, right? They could totally handle it.
So I use Mortgage Coach, and I use Mortgage Coach for that. Yeah. So I'm teaching my people, mainly my admin, and I got a couple newbies. Set it up, and I'll show you how to dial it in, and then I'll show you how to present it. Because the goal is efficiency and time, right? I can do a mortgage coach, build that trust, show them the option in 15 minutes flat. And then guess what? I don't see that again because I'm pretty good and my team is pretty good at following along. That like if there's changes, deviations from, let's say they pick option A, we need to let them know and what those changes are. But most of the time now, I'd say over 80%, what they're seeing, I tell them this, it's not going to be perfect, but it's going to be close enough that you're going to feel comfortable. Are you okay within $2,000 variance? Yeah, we are, or $1,000 variance. So basically, mortgage coach is my involvement, CD, post-close, that's it.
Perfect. All right, so let's do a little quick recap, right? You and I are going fast, right? So fam loan officer. So team-wise, it looks like you got about 3 full-time employees on your team helping you. Does it sound about right?
Yes, and then I have a couple junior LOs that are friends of mine that want to try the business, and because someone gave me a shot and they have the right personalities for it.
Right, you're paying it forward, right? Paying it forward. You got to reach back and bring up the next generation, which is awesome. Okay, purchase business. So that's one big thing. It sounds like you're a big purchase business, and your value is bringing value to others, right? That's what I got from the beginning. Your value is bringing that to others. Okay. Why do you think they come back? What is the big draw about them coming back to you? What do you think is your best, asset about that?
I brand myself as a mortgage strategist. I am very direct with my clients about, look, I will always be honest with you. I'm never going to BS you if something changes. And I do a really good job at database management.
Great.
I am always, and especially now with 2XM? Yeah, 2XM. I do bomb videos. I'll pick 25 at a time. Bomb videos. Hey, just thinking of you guys, by the way, read them down or this or running this special. Give me a call. Boom. I got 10 deals. Like that FHA thing we did. It was 5 minutes of my time. Yeah.
That's awesome. Wow. You are definitely using our systems and using that to your best abilities, which is awesome. What are you having the most success in your business? What is the most successful thing? Is it the bomb videos? Is it the, drip? What do you feel like every day you're like, man, this is very successful. This is something like people are missing out on. They're not doing this. And this is the number one thing that brings me the most success.
The transparency that I provide up front of Mortgage Coach, because there's so many people calling the quickings and the ownerlies and all that. And so the fact that I'm a straight shooter, I'm direct, I talk direct. I mean, that's just who I am. And I'm authentic, right? Like, I'm like, hey guys, my daughter needs you right now. Do you mind if she just sits here while we do the Zoom call? And I think it's great. I'm just authentic as hell. That's awesome. So I think the Mortgage Coach in conjunction with 2XM and utilizing those are the two things that I think are really bringing me a lot of value. And it makes my job so much easier. I mean, I have so much more time. Like if I did 250 loans next year, I wouldn't even be surprised, just because I'm even getting better at it than I was this year.
No, I agree. I use Mortgage Coach. I use a lot of the systems you use. It is, For me, I'm like you. I got 3 kids. I'm coaching baseball. I coach football. I got to be out of the office 3 days a week at 3 o'clock. So when I'm here, I literally got a 6-hour window to be the most efficient person in the world. And then I'm back on later after baseball. But it's like this little time period. I'm like, I literally don't have 30 seconds. I need to come in and just pound it out. Yeah.
Let's talk about mindset. So I get up at 3:45 every morning and I do that very, very strategically, right? I get up, I watch the Asian markets close, CNBC starts coming on, and that just kind of gets my mind like, what's going on with the 10-year? What's going on with that? I have the same routine, the same playlist I listen to while I'm taking a shower. I just have my discipline that I go for a walk, or I get a workout in, or I go swim some laps, something. Cody Hardridge, who's my elite coach, he's taught me about how getting your muscles moving helps your brain stimulate. So I do that in the morning. And the reason is because just like you, my goal is to work 6 or 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. That's it, and close $250 million. So my point is by having my mindset routine dialed in the morning, even though it seems a little crazy, I'm firing on all cylinders by 6:30 a.m. and I get more done by 11 a.m. than most people do in a week. I mean,
100%.
honestly, and not trying to sound egotistical.
No.
Yeah.
I don't wake up at 3:45,
Yeah.
but I'm up at 5:05.
Yeah.
Pretty much every day. There's one day a week that I get to sleep in until 6.
Yep.
And then,
Yep.
weekends I'm up early, and I would love to work from 6 to 1 and be done, but my day doesn't end. But I would love to. I love it.
Well, I'm not doing billions yet, but I'm trying to catch up. Don't worry.
Hey, shout out to my region. We did 1.2 billion in 3 months. So there you go. So this is why it's called Funding Billions. All right. So here we go. Let's go to, that's a good question for you. All right. Podcasts. Do you listen? So morning routine. Do you listen to a podcast in the morning? Any mortgage podcasts? Who do you listen to?
Todd Duncan.
Duncan.
I just do all the Todd Duncan podcasts. Yeah.
Okay.
Him and I have a really special bond, and I find his stuff. So Gary V.
Yeah, he's motivational.
And I audible books too. When I'm driving. Extreme Ownership is a big one that I'm re-listening to right now. And the 5 levels of leadership. Ownership, because I'm trying to build my team, and I'm a believer, it all starts from the top, right? So like if I'm taking ownership and my team knows if they mess up, that I will still own it and I'll fall on that sword for them, they feel empowered to go do the things that I'm going to do more. And they actually end up messing up less or making less mistakes.
Of course.
Yeah.
That's what happens when they're engaged. All right, I got another one for you. Let's go to, you said you're paying it forward. You're bringing young guys in, gals in, junior loan officers. What is the one tip you have for them? If you have one tip, you're brand new, I come knock on your door, Jake, I want to be you. What do I got to do? What's the tip?
Are you prepared to be fearless and tenacious for the next 24 months to change your life for the next 20 years?
I love that. That's great. That's a great line. What's your biggest pain right now in this market? Challenges, like it could be Finance America stuff. It could be market conditions. It could be products. It could be anything, team issues. What's your biggest challenge and pain that you're having?
Honestly, it's more personal. It's more, I do a pretty good job of this is when I shut down time, but I also still get from time to time, especially with my big agents. Oh yeah, Saturday you need pre-approval. Yeah, I'll step away from some. So that's really where my pain is now, and that's changing because now I'm gotten to a point where it's not that I don't care, but I'm not gonna admit my girl's 5, and my other one's 1. I'm not missing another minute,
That's awesome.
And that's just how it's going to be. And if the realtor can't give me 4 hours, right? If they can't give me 4 hours, they're not the right fit for me. And I'm okay with that. I don't care who it is.
Yeah. So, yeah, I struggled. I have twins that are 9. I got a little man that's 3. And my wife has been so forgiving for I don't know how long, 14, 15, 16 years. I don't know. We're coming up on an anniversary. I better figure that out. But
congratulations.
She's been very, very understanding. And then 2020 hit. It was just chaos, right? It was chaos, and I was working all the time. This is the first year that instead of I was like you, they bug me on Sunday night. I just want to reply. I'm like, come on, it's 9 o'clock on Sunday, leave me alone, right? And then I also had to look in their shoes. I was like, man, this is their only paycheck. It's their only client. And so one thing I changed was I met with my team going, look, guys, I can't work Saturdays and Sundays. I got to spend the time. My boys are 9. I want to spend time with my wife and Maverick. And when I'm home, I don't want to be on my phone looking at stuff going, oh, I got to go to my computer and send a pre-approval letter and a DU and all that stuff, right? All that stuff drove me crazy. And so this was the first year that my team, we've rotated weekends, right? So if someone, I send out an email through 2X that says, who are you going to call? And it has Jeremy Dix, Justin, whoever, and we all rotate a weekend. there's 6 of us that, take turns. Well, really 3 right now, but there's about total 6 of us that take turns. And I've reached out to all the realtors and go, look, everything's in my system. Just whoever's on call, text them, email them, call them. They'll send you a DU, pre-approval letter, da 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 da. And then also what's getting is like they're getting buyers on weekends, and those buyers can't get a hold of their lender, and they're calling and going, oh, Justin's on call for Chris's team. I'm going to call Justin right now, and they will get them pre-approved, get them everything. And so we're winning on weekends. But it was one of the big things for me was changing. Like a lot of the agents are like, well, I don't really. I go, look, you're not going to get me on weekends. I have 3 kids. You know that I've worked 20 years at this, and my marriage is more important, and my children are more important than a pre-approval letter at 5 o'clock on Sunday night. And so once they bought into this, I'm only about 3 months into it. But I mean, on Sunday, this past Sunday, we had 9 requests. 4 of them were pre-approvals. 5 were brand new clients that were looking to get updated.
Their lender wouldn't pick up because
their lender wouldn't pick up. They needed a letter, and I'm like, I think I got some gold there.
That's my plan for my junior, especially one of them, is because he really likes getting more into mortgage coach, and he really likes doing that stuff. And I set up Ruby Mail on the weekends, which is an answering service. But what it also does is gives me a transcript that I just forward to him. Hey, here's what the client said they wanted. Here's what the client said they needed. Yeah. And then he just goes and calls them and picks it up from there.
Yeah. Yeah. And what I'll do is, I'll forward the voicemails, or they'll have access.
Yeah, same thing.
Great. It's great. And they're my guys that are working the weekend. They're loving it because I always tease them. I always call it prison rules. I go, you get a deal, it's yours. I don't want it. Right. I'm like, if it's I'm like, look, if it comes in, it's yours. And so the ones that are hungry and getting into our business, that's my number one thing. Go find the busiest person and be like, look, I know you don't want to work Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Saturday and Sunday. I'll be on call for you. I'll work those days, because you and I had to do that. I had to do that for 18 years. I just figured this out in year 20, right? And I think that's like the number one thing right there, is being accessible to our realtors who, like, I used to be you. I used to get angry. I used to be like, come on, they're not going to, but then I had to pull my ego out of it. And I said, look, their biggest struggle is they just need communication. And look, I gave them a letter for $850, but now it's $860. I get it. They don't want to put a half-baked letter in. So those are the things that are where it took me to swallow my ego and go, all right, I need to figure out a solution. And now it's my solution. Who are you going to call? Right. And I think it's going to take off for my team. I think it's going to get bigger and bigger, and other realtors are going to be like, man, they got a team 24/7, but it's not me, right? It's the team sharing. We're all in it together.
Exactly. Yeah. And so it's interesting you say that, because I've started to coach my realtors, because, they say, and I know I say realtors wrong. I'm just always going to do that.
Realtors.
Realtors. So now what's interesting is I'm asking the question. I need a pre-approval. When are offers due? Well, they're due Tuesday. So you need a pre-approval at Saturday at 8 o'clock, or you just bored at home?
That's good.
You know what I mean? But what it's done is now they're telling their clients, hey, Jake, here's Jake's application link, or Jake, can you send them the application link? Boom, I can do that super easy, or have one of my team members do it. Yep. And then he's going to follow up with a presentation that's going to blow your mind, but he won't do it till Monday. That's cool, because we got time to do it. And if for some reason we need to send an offer on Saturday, and for some reason they can't get an offer to the team, enough people know Jake around here. And if I say, hey, Jake Wade's our lender, they'll be like, oh, okay, the pre-approval is coming. We're not going to worry about it. So
that's awesome.
There's a couple ways you can do that.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great for you. Good. Yeah. All right. So let's talk. Last question. We're running out to our 30 minutes.
Yeah.
What question do you have for me? I know we've gone through a lot.
Yeah. I'm gonna ask you the same question. When what's your next number? I mean, when are you I don't want to say satisfied, but what's your next number? What do you want to hit? What do you want to do?
Oh, for me personally, it's a tough one. Like you won't episode whatever when I just said, look, my goal is always 60 million a year. It's a joke, right? Because as long as I do 60 billion, I'm happy. I'm at that point where my branch did $1 billion last year. My personal volume was 300 million. Like, how much more can I go? And so it's
exactly.
not. So for me, it's not about numbers for me personally. It's about the young guys around me coming in. I'm setting goals for them to hit volume, to help them. Me, it's more about like, I'm at the end where I'm like, I think I peaked. I told Tony Giuseppe, I was like, hey, you're going to beat me this year. I peaked. You're never going to, I'm going to be number 2, number 3, maybe the most. I'm at the point where I want to pull back, but I want to do things like this. This is what I want to do. I want to reach out and help bring up the next generation. And so that's my goal. So number wise in the office, I want our branch to do well, but I don't care if we don't do $1 billion, right? I just want I want to see my guys and gals that are between 25 and 30 keep doubling numbers. People like you going, hey, look what Jake did. You can do this, right? And get those people to hit their goals, and more focused on them growing their teams and taking what I'm doing as my team and going, look, you just plug in and do this. This is how you got your assistant, your processor. And that's what I want to do. I want to get those up.
I'm at the exact same spot, because I'm like, cool, if I make what I made this year, right? And if I make that for the next 10 years, because I plan on retiring at 45. So 9 years now, so if I make that every year, but my life continually improves, and my people are doing better, and my people are following my blueprint, and then they're becoming successful, same thing. Exact same thing.
I got a new group of young hitters coming in, and that's really my goal, is watching them get to the next level. So that's kind of my personal goal and growth is them. Numbers are numbers. They're going to come, they're going to go. Market's going to change. Rates go down. Look, rates go down, things are going to get really good. Rates go up, it's going to get hard again. So it's just one of those things where it's really hard to put a number on it, and I don't want to put this astronomical number out there. And
that was an even better answer, because it aligned more with what I was really trying to get at. That's cool.
And so perfect. We're running out of time here, but so loan officers, here we go. Tip of the week, tip of the call with funding billions with Fenolio is cryptocurrency. It's huge, guys. You better get ready for it. I had 2 jumbo loans this past month. We use crypto to close those loans. You're allowed to do it. Fannie Mae has guidelines. It's just like an E-Trade account. You have a bank account, you have a statement, it shows the history of the money going in and out. Redwood Trust allows cryptocurrency. You got to read the guidelines. There's a little bit of stuff, because you got to show every single transaction when they purchased it. And the key we want to see is that it was their seasoned money buying the Bitcoin, Ethereum, whatever it is. But it is here. Recognize it. Get ready for it.
Everyone should be doing that. Everyone should be doing that, because like I'm in San Francisco area. Imagine Bitcoin around here.
It's huge.
Jesus.
Right. Everyone has it. I haven't used it for reserves, but I've used it for down payment. So anyways, hey, Jake, you're awesome. You got a great story. I can't wait until we have President's Club. We get to hang out, sales rally, when other people get to know who you are and get your story is awesome. Appreciate you being on here. Funding Billions with Fenolio. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram. We look forward to it. Thank you, everyone, for joining.